Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Future Educators Talk Math Virtual Session, Day 2. This is Day 2 of our Math Virtual lesson. If you missed Monday's lesson, is now uploaded on our YouTube page, and as well as a brief recap is now on our Instagram page. So, I'm going to let Damian go first this time since I went first last time. So I'm going to go ahead and let Damian go first for today.
Well, okay. So before we get started here, this is just a little recap of what we are doing. We are helping students who are struggling with math during this difficult time that we are in. And we're going to be doing this for the next 17 to 18 week and even possibly after that. So we will do our best to help your students who are struggling with math because we know math is a tough topic. So we got you covered. Andrew, he's going to be helping the sixth graders. I'm going to be helping the eighth graders. So we will do our best to help your students improve their math scores this school year. So that's what we're doing here, helping students out here. And a little recap of what I did this week is I'm talking about decimals, repeating decimals. That's what I'm going to be doing for this week to end it off today and then also next week as well. So today what I'm going to be doing, if you tune in on Monday, I talk about repeating decimals, converting a fraction to a repeating decimal. So today it's going to be the same thing, but reverse. I'm going to talk about how to convert that repeating decimal back to that fraction. So that's what I'm going to do here today. And it may be short, but I'm going to give you guys all the facts of what you need to know. So let me share my screen with y'all. So just give me just a moment.
While he is pulling up his lesson, like he said again, he is doing repeating decimals for, he did it Monday, and now he's doing the opposite today. I believe today is the last day that you're going to do repeating decimals, and then Monday you're going to start something new.
For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be talking about repeating decimals. This week I'm just introducing y'all to it, and then next week is going to be a review of it. So, yeah. Okay, let me share my screen now. Here we go. So, and let me hide this here today. Okay. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about converting a repeating decimal to fractions. And I got two parts to this, and then I got some videos explaining this. So get your notes, your journal, piece of pen, paper, whatever to jot these down here. Now, if you remember from Monday lesson, I talk about this right here, a terminating decimal, which it can be written as a fraction simply by writing it as a decimal fraction. So that is just a little recap here. Then we also talk about repeating decimal. This can be written as a fraction as well. Let's say I have 0.7575, and so on. This is your repeating decimal. Now, here is today's lesson right here. In order to convert a repeating decimal to fractions, we are going to do these following steps here. So the first one is we're going to let x equal the repeating decimal, and I'm going to show you guys an example problem. In step 2, we're going to multiply by powers of 1, 10, or 100 to create two equations that isolate the repeating part of the decimal. Then with the third step, we're going to subtract the equations to remove the repeating part of the decimal. And then finally, the last step is we're going to solve the resulting equation and simplify the fraction. So make sure you copy this main part here, because this is important for this lesson here. These two are just a recap of Monday's lesson here. So if you want to jot this down, that's fine. Give you guys time to jot this down, or you could screenshot this. Okay, now I'm going to stop the share for a moment, and I'm going to show you guys two videos explaining this lesson here. So let me pull it up. And I know you guys.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have a question. So are you going to show us an example?
Yes. These videos I have, and then also I'm going to do an example that I created myself. So yes. And I know you guys, if y'all think this is like a boring lesson, I get it. It is. It's not that fun, but you need to know this because your teachers, trust me, like I mentioned from day one, your teachers will be talking about this. So just bear with me here for the next 2 weeks, and then soon I will get into the fun lesson. So let me share my screen. Okay. Now, this is, okay, so this is what I want. So this video right here, it is 4 minutes long. And this is just basically teaching the lesson for you that I found. So pay close attention to this. And they will give you the steps that I provided to you guys here earlier. Can you hear this, Andrew? Can you hear the video?
No, I cannot hear the video.
No? Okay.
How about now? 0.7777, and I can just keep going on and on and on forever. The 7 keeps on repeating, so this is the same thing as 0.7777, and I can just keep going on and on and on forever with those 7s. So the trick to converting these things into fractions is to essentially set this equal to a variable, and we'll just show it step by step. So let's set this equal to a variable, and we call this x. So x is equal to 0.7, and the 7 repeats on and on forever. Now what would 10x be? Well, let's think about this. 10x. 10x would just be 10 times this. So it would be, and we can even think of it right over here. It would be, if we multiplied this times 10, you'd be moving the decimal 1 over to the right. It would be 7.777, on and on and on and on forever. Or you could say that it's 7.7 repeating. Now,
so what he did here, and if you copy down these notes, it tells us that step 1, it tells us that step 1, let x equal the repeating decimal, and that is what he did here. Right here, that is what he did here. 10x equals 7.7, and he has the line over it. That is a repeated decimal instead of rewriting it over and over and over again.
we know what x is. X is this 0.777 repeating forever. 10x is this, and this is another repeating thing. Now, the way that we can get rid of the repeating decimals is if we subtract x from 10x, right? Because x has all these 0.7777. If you subtract that from 7.77777, then you're just going to be left with 7. So let's do that. So let me rewrite it here just a little bit easier. 10x is equal to 7.7 repeating, which is equal to 7.777, on and on forever. And we established earlier that x is equal to 0.7 repeating, which is equal to 0.777, on and on forever. Now what happens if you subtract x?
Now, you don't have to, what he did here, write these out. You don't have to do that. Because it's just like extra work here. He just rewrote it again without the line here. So just don't focus on what's on the right over here. Just focus right here, this equation part only.
So we're going to subtract the yellow from the green. Well, 10 of something minus 1 of something is just going to be 9 of that something. And then that's going to be equal to what's 7.77777 repeating minus 0.77777, going on and forever repeating. Well, it's just going to be 7. These parts are going to cancel out. You're just left with 7. Or you can say these two parts cancel out. You are just left with 7. So you get 9x is equal to 7. Solve for x. Just divide both sides by 9. Just divide both sides by 9. Well, I could do all 3 sides, although these are really saying the same thing. And you get.
And he is doing all of the steps that I provided to you just to clear that up.
X is equal to 7/9. Let's do another one.
So basically, this is a equation, a linear equation that he just did, which I'm going to be talking about this weeks from now. But this is how you do it. You convert it back into a fraction by doing the steps here. He did all of the steps correctly. He did let x equal the repeating decimal. He did that. Either multiply by the powers of 10, 1, 10, or 100, and he created 2 equations. He subtracted the equations to remove. He did that, and finally he solved. So he did correctly. He followed the steps. So that is what you're supposed to do. Now, I'm going to show you guys an example that I created myself. So, and I'm going to show you because I got a board here and I'm going to work it out step by step. So, let's say that I have, let's do this here. Let's say, and I'm gonna do it long ways. Let's say that I have 0.666666 repeating, okay? Okay, let's say I have this. Now, how am I going to do this? Well, you're gonna follow the steps. We're going to let x equal the repeating decimal. So, and then in this case, it will be 10. So you would set it up like this. 10x equals 0.66 repeating. I'm just going to put a line. Okay, I'm going to do it. And basically from here, it's an equation. So let me show you guys up here. What am I going to do here? Well, you have to subtract to get x by itself. And I will show you guys, some of you guys, I know you're confused right now, but I will teach you equations later on into the week. So I'm just introducing it a little earlier for this problem here. So to get x by itself, I have to subtract it, correct? So subtract x from both sides. Well, not from both sides, for over here. And then basically over here, it'll be 0.666, so on, so on, so on. So we put that line here, that equals 9x, because this is basically a 1, you guys. You could just put a 1 right there, 1x, but we just put this as x. If there was another number here, then of course it would not be 1. But in this case, it's 1 here. So 10 minus 1 is 9x equals, we subtract that, that's basically 6. Now from here, I need to get x by itself again. So from here, I can't times it, I can't subtract it. So the only case that I need to do is divide by 9. And you would do this all the time, well, not all the time with these numbers, but whatever you have here, you will always divide it again at the bottom. So that crosses out, and that gives me x equals 6 divided by 9. Well, it's 6 over 9, but it goes into, we can reduce that to 2/3, excuse me. So this is your answer here. You do this, oh, y'all guys can see in my back. So you will do this every time. Every time.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
What if somebody, their answer is 6/9, and they didn't simple it down to the simplest form? Do they still get it right, or does it
Well,
has to be simplified?
well, they will get part of it right because yes, it can be 6 over 9, but and then let's say that I didn't tell my students to simplify it. So technically it would be 6 over 9, but if I tell them, if you can simplify that fraction, then simplify it, which means in this case, it will be 2/3. But today, it could be whatever, 6 over 9s, but if you have to simplify it, it will be 2/3. So that will be for every time. So in this case, I didn't say, do you have to simplify it? No, it could be whatever. So technically, both of those answers are correct. Either way, it's just what your teachers tells you. Simplify the fraction, or if they don't tell you. So in this case, both of them are correct. I'm gonna do one more problem to give y'all the idea of how to do this. So let's do this right here, and I'm gonna use a different color of marker. So let's say I have 1.2525 and so on, so on, so on. Okay. Now, in this problem here, you are going to use, excuse me, 100 equals 125.2525 and so on, so on, so on, because use the different marker here. You move that decimal over, it gets you this right here. So we have to use 300. Now, how can we, again, you're going to subtract x from both, well, on this here. And this will give you 99 because, again, this is considered a 1, but we just write it as x. So that would be 99x equals, and then from this number, we have to do from the first problem here, 1.2525, so on, so on, so on. And that equals us 124. Now, again, we need to get x. We need to get x by itself. So from here, subtract 99 from both sides. And then x equals, we can't simplify 124 over 99. So that will be your answer here. It will not be no decimal because we're converting this decimal back into the fraction. So this is your answer. This is what you guys will be doing here. Just follow these steps here correctly. Step 1 to 4. Step 1, let x equals the repeating decimal. And then you got it from there. So I'm gonna have you guys have time to copy this down here or to take a picture of it. Let me get out of your way. So I hope this helps out. I know, again, I said earlier, this is a boring lesson. I get it. Decimals, it's nobody likes decimals. But your teachers, trust me, you guys, they will be teaching this, which they should have at the beginning of the school year, just for a recap of decimals. But yeah, and then next week, you guys, I'm going to be reviewing this. I got problems of what we did this week. So again, I hope you understood. I hope you took notes. And then you could share this with your friends who may be struggling with decimals. So, and you could help them out. Like, you know this good, and you could help them out. So, this week, you guys, I know it was a tiring week, a boring week, a lesson from me, but trust me, we will get into the fun lessons soon. So, um, I'm finished. I'm pretty much finished. I said, I know there's going to be a short lesson again, but your teachers again, they will be teaching you guys decimals. Trust me. So I'm done.
All right.
If you have any questions for me, but I'm just pretty much finished for today.
Yes, that is absolutely right. If you have any questions for Mr. Anderson or Mr. Damian, you know what to do. Contact him via Twitter, his personal page, etc., etc.
Yes, and let me. I'm gonna copy my information down so you guys will know. If you need any help or anything, this is
Let
where,
him know.
yes.
Let him know. ASAP. Let him know. Let him know. While he's doing that, I'm gonna step aside real quick to get ready for my lesson. Real quick.
So again, I hope that we are helping students so much by doing this, because this will help a lot of what we are doing. We are future math teachers, and we are just preparing ourselves once we enter into the teaching profession. So this is a startup for us of how we're going to be teaching lessons to our students right here with you guys. So I hope for the next 17 weeks and on, possibly we're probably going to be doing this throughout this school year. Just helping your students so much so they can improve, so we can improve that math score up. So anyways, if you have questions for me or want me to, what topics, lessons, excuse me, I said topics, what lesson you guys want me to do, please, here's my info where you can contact me. You can contact me on Instagram. Here you see at the Damian Anderson. Make sure you put the first, because I am the one and only, of course, Damian Anderson. So make sure you put the in the front, not just Damian Anderson, because if you put that in, that would not be me. It's someone else. So make sure you put that in. Then on Twitter, it's _ Damian Anderson. And then on Facebook, Damian Anderson, and find this face right here. Because if you don't find this face, it's not me. So I'm gonna make y'all copy this down, take a picture of it, whatever. This is where you can contact me. All right. So I believe now, since I'm finished, we are going to enter our mid-section, our mid-break. And then after that, for just a couple of minutes, and then after that, Andrew Frett is going to begin his lesson. And then after that, another mid-session break, and then we will enter our office hours. So we are now entering our mid-session break at this moment. All right. So our break, our mid-session break is over now. So now we are about to enter Mr. Andrew Frett, his lesson on today. So it's in your hands now, Andrew, Mr. Frett.
Yes, that's right. It's in my hands. Um, Good evening, everyone. Good evening on this Friday evening. Yes, it is Friday. Friday. Um, so yeah, I know, right? Today's Friday. Um, let's first thing. Let's do a little bit of review of what we have learned on Monday. So because also on Monday, I just learned something new on Monday as well. So on Monday, I am. I can't share screen sharing.
Okay. Oh, my bad. That's my fault on my end. Okay, try it now.
Okay. So for on Monday, what we're here it is. On Monday, we have reviewed, we have learned, let's just bring whatever. Okay, so on Monday we learned about numeric expressions. We also operations. We also talked about order of operations. We also talked about how it is no longer PEMDAS. Um, also talked about how Aunt Sally got divorced and got married to Pat. I believe that was his name. Because he divorced Gary. So I mean not Gary. Yeah, divorced Pat, and now she with Gary now. So now gymnast now, which is grouping. Where is the antidote? I'd say. So, which is now um, grouping. Let me, yeah, it's now grouping exponents. Exponents. There we go. Multiply and divide and add and subtract. So that's what we have learned on Monday. It used to be just parentheses, which is used to be this right here. It used to be just parentheses, but now it is not. It is now grouping um, because it has brackets and parentheses and all that stuff. So we also talk about expressions. How I told you the amount of money if you have $25 and $26. I told you the phrase, how to write that down, how it's 25 plus 6. Also how to do order operations. Also showed you 2 videos by Katakami of how to do order operations. Today, we are continuing with expressions, but today we are going to talk about variables. Not yesterday, Monday, I talked about how there was a variable in one of the columns. Now today we're going to talk about variables. So here are the vocab words. I'm going to let you take a minute or two to write this down. So algebra is a branch of mathematics that use symbols. And trust me, you will use algebra pretty much through high school. Uh, Pretty much. I think once you get into high school, if I think Damian can correct me if I'm wrong, that you will once you get in high school, you will learn even more about algebra. How teachers will go even more into depth about algebra. You know, about the binary theorem, distance formula, the
Yes.
mix formula, the slope, intercept form, all of that will be, once you get into high school, you'll be taught all of that. So a variable is a letter of or symbol, either or, used to represent an unknown value. So any letter can be used as a variable. So it could be Y, it could be N, could be A, could be even V. Doesn't matter what variable it is, how long it represents as a variable. So an expression like 6n plus 7 is an algebraic expression because it contains one variable. Let me show this here. It contains one variable. So n is your variable. N is your variable, and an mathematic operation that is a bad line, but it is what it is, which is plus 7. All right. Now, to replace a variable within a number, you are using substitution property of equality, which I'm gonna take a minute to write all this down. You can screenshot this, take a picture, uh, whatever you need to do to keep this info in handy. Okay. So take you a minute to write all this down. I'll take a picture.
Yes, these stuff right here that he's mentioning, you guys, these are very important because in high school, you guys, in your math classes, it's just mainly algebra, you guys. So
Yeah.
make sure you get this down because once you hit high school, you're going to be doing this every single day. So and it's going to get even more complex and kind of a little harder. So this is just the, let me just say, beginning step here. So please pay attention to this right here because you will quite see this again. Trust me, you will see this again.
You'll see this again, and I'm pretty sure once you get into high school, you will need to know how to replace. You need to know how to write an expression. Also, you will need to know how to substitute a variable. Also,
Yes.
find a variable as well.
Yes.
Those are the three things that you would need to do. That's important things that you need to do once you get to high school. So those are the three things. All right, so here are some examples. I color coded here. So the first one is 5 minus n. So the letter y is often used as a variable. It's either x or y. Those are the two common letters that have been used as a variable. 6p plus 10 and rs. So 6p means 6 times p, and rs means r time s. Like I said on Monday, how I think one of the problems where he wrote 10r or 10 times r. It's the same thing. 10r is the same thing as 10 times r. Or you can write it out as 10 times r. But once you get into, I believe, once you get into 8th grade or 7th grade, you would need to learn how to just write as together, like 6p or s. Because I'm pretty sure to get to those two grade levels, they won't be written out as 6 times p or r times s. Like in Damian's lesson, how he wrote it as 10x. He did not write out 10 times x. He just wrote it as 10x. So that's just let y'all know that 10 times x, right? So also the last one, a divided by 6. Like I said on Monday, it could be written as a with the fraction form, a on the numerator, 6 on the denominator. Or you can write it like I did, a divided by 6. Now, so I have this lovely diagram here for all y'all visual learners here. So we have the words that describe the situation. Also use only important words. I follow the area here. Variable, define a variable by choosing a variable to present the unknown quantity. And the expression, so translate your verbal model into an algebraic expression. Now you'll be asking yourself, what did this mean? Or I'm confused. What's going on? So I'm breaking down to you here. All right, so the first example is $4 more than the cost of a sandwich. So you're gonna break this down. So the words, I'm gonna color here. So the words is $4. $4 more than. So those are the words. Is $4 more than cost of a sandwich, right? So you're gonna S correctly. Oh, well, that's terrible. That here. So we're gonna S is a variable, and you may be wondering why is S a variable? Because we're gonna let S represent the sandwich, because we need to know how much is the sandwich that is $4 more. So S is going to be your variable, and the expression is going to be, like I said right here, 4 plus S. So that's how you write it into expression form. All right, next example. Tyler has had $5, so we are going to underline $5 more than $5 more than $10 an hour. Okay, so that's your words, your variable. Well, let's find the variable of the problem. So we're gonna let n equals the number of hours. Here. Oh, wait. Let's do text. So we're gonna do, okay. So we're gonna let n equals the number, right? So we need to know, Tyler needs to know how much more hours does he make if he add $5. So the expression is 5 plus 10n. That's just to show you, if Tyler had $5 and he makes $10 an hour, how much will he make? So if we were to solve that problem, so let's say he made 8 hours. So we will plug that in, which will be 5 plus 10. We will replace the 8 with the n, so which is going to be 5 plus 10 times 8, and then again, let's write order of operations. We're going to do 5 plus 80, and then new total is going to be 85. So he will make $85 if he babysit for 8 hours. Okay. Let's see if I have any. I don't think I have any. See if I have any lessons here. I mean examples. Not. I mean, see if I have any. Okay. So I don't. So I don't have any videos for this one. Just know how to write an expression, just like on Monday. But also you need to know how to find a variable, how to write a variable, and how to substitute as well. Um, Again, just like those 3 things, you need to know how to do those things, because once you get to the high school, you need to be on it of how to do those things. Because if not, you will fall behind, and trust me, you do not want to fall behind. Like I said, this, like Damian said too, this is a short lesson. This is very short. I know, very, very short. But just wait until, like I think next week or two. That's when lessons starts to become more interesting. This is kind of like a refresher almost, because I'm pretty sure some of y'all taught this a little bit in 5th grade, just a little bit, but not very much. So this is where we really go introduce this to y'all. I believe that is it for my lesson. Like I said, I apologize that my lessons is short. Um, and I apologize that I don't have any videos for my visual learners. I just don't have any videos for this one, but I'm gonna promise you that next week, I mean not next week, on Monday, that I will have some lessons for y'all. I mean, some videos for y'all to watch. But yeah, this is it. This is it. This is my lesson. So, like I said again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, on Twitter and on Instagram. If you have any questions or concerns, not concerns, or concerns. So yeah, my brain is a little bit all over the place. So I do apologize for that.
Right, so 2 lessons in today for another session. And you guys, of course, we'll be back next week, and a week after that, and a week after that. We're going to continue to do this probably this school year. So thank you guys for tuning in with us for our first week. This was our first week, a perfect success for us. So we are so glad to be helping your students who are struggling with math. You guys, this project has been in the works, and we are finally doing it. So I'm glad that we are helping your students out, and I'm just glad that we're doing this. I really am, because this is what this podcast is mainly about: just helping each other, having these conversations, and so much more. So, again, thank you for tuning in. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we will see y'all on Monday with another brand new week of math virtual lesson with Mr. Andrew and Mr. Damian Anderson. So just like the motto, same time, same grind, but a different lesson. sure you follow us on our social medias. But until then, we'll see y'all Monday.
Y'all take care this weekend, Labor Day weekend. I hope you guys be safe. Please be safe. I really don't want any trouble to happen this weekend. I better not see anything happen over this weekend that I have to talk about starting next week. So please be safe, you guys. Please. We'll see you guys next week on Monday.